we ready to begin?
Good morning!
My name is Misty.
Come on, Ike, it's time.
We would be honored if you would join us.
The greatest adventure of all time.
We just become best friends.
Yup!
Come on, let's get in character.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Oh, come on!
Folks, this is episode 299, which is incidentally more episodes than they made of the show that we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about M.A.S.H.
We are going to talk about M.A.S.H.
We are.
I actually don't know how many episodes of M.A.S.H. they made.
I'm not sure either. But, I mean, that's what we're here to find out.
Oh, we barely got them beat.
How many did they make?
They made 255 episodes of M.A.S.H.
We beat them.
and a couple movies over
Yeah, they did.
11
didn't they?
seasons.
11 seasons?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're only on our first season.
Second. We did second too
Oh.
when we rolled over to 200.
Interesting.
M.A.S.H. is an acronym for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
That's right.
A lot of people don't know that.
Did you know that you can hike to the exterior site of where they shot M.A.S.H.?
We've talked about this, but tell me about it again. Because
I'd have to look it up. But I've never done it.
There's still, okay, so yeah, if you do the hike, there's still a sign that is a leftover set deck
And an old truck.
and an old truck.
And
It's an old army truck
Yeah.
that has the M.A.S.H. logo on the side of it. And it's one of the signs that has the arrows in different directions, like Tokyo, 3,000 kilometers away. Yeah, and it's just right that way
Yep.
out of town.
Here is some pictures of what you can see when you go up there. Simply stick to the main corridor to reach the M.A.S.H. site. The wide dirt trail passes Cage Creek Trail on the right. A quarter mile passes Century Lake. The single track ascends to the lower end of Lookout Trail below Mulholland Drive, which connects to Cistern Trail, another access route to Malibu Creek State Park. Will you hike this with me?
I hiked it with Ben one of the first times that he came to LA, but yeah, I would do it again.
I would love to go.
It was actually super cool.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad hike at all. It's not like incredibly difficult.
It's 1.8
It's real
miles.
cool. Yeah, it's
there
real cool.
From the parking lot.
Do it in a heartbeat. Let's
Oh, we're still on the pictures, so
we are.
showing
But yeah,
pictures.
there's like the arrows and stuff.
I can't believe people don't steal those.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you like do the research to go on a hike to do that, you have a little bit more respect for it.
Yeah.
You know?
M.A.S.H.
It's real cool. I would say anybody that, comes out to LA for a visit, it's definitely one of those things worth checking out.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm Googling what... Where was M.A.S.H. filmed? Shooting for M.A.S.H. took place on a movie ranch operated by 20th Century Fox. That's what turned into the park. The filming lasted from 1972 to 1983. During this period, the 20th Century Fox ranch was actually sold off and became Malibu Creek State Park.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to know what stage they shot at, though. Filming locations. Malibu, Griffith Park, Malibu Country Club. Stage 18, 20th Century Fox. Let me look up a stage map. And stage 8. Okay. Tell me something while I look something up for my own health real quick.
Well, I don't want to talk about the theme song yet because I want you to talk about that with me.
Okay.
So there were a couple of people that had contract problems on M.A.S.H.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne Rogers, who played Trapper McIntyre, decided that he'd had enough. He was tired of playing second fiddle to Hawkeye, played by Alan Alda.
Yep.
Felt his character was never given the chance to be explored in depth. So CBS kind of laughed at him and said, nope, you can't just up and decide to leave the show. Well, apparently you can when you never signed the contract you were supposed to sign.
Oh.
Writers and producers had little choice but to grin and bear it. They had no legal recourse but to write him out of the show, and that's why Trapper never gets a proper farewell. He never signed his contract, and that's how he was like, sayonara.
That's insane.
Yeah.
They just started working.
Yep. I think that's a good one. Like, I mean, I wonder how many times that happens where someone's like, yeah, we didn't actually get his contract back signed. Sorry. I can't imagine it being that small of a contract either. The crew on M.A.S.H actually really, really hated the laugh track. It's a staple on most shows. There's always a laugh track in the background, unless you're in front of a live studio audience. Some people can't stand it, others tolerate it. However, the entire cast of M.A.S.H were not fans and begged CBS not to add it into the show. CBS, in what seems like, the common thing on this show, ignored their protest and included the laugh track only because all other comedies had one back then. But M.A.S.H isn't really like all comedies. It's set during a war. So fortunately, CBS had the good sense not to include the canned laughter at inappropriate moments and never during operation room scenes. If you buy the DVD version, you can choose to watch the entire show without the laugh track, which is real cool.
Yeah. Sorry, just for my own good. This is the overhead map of the Fox lot.
Okay.
For those of you that are interested, this is Nakatomi Towers.
Yes, it is.
Fox Plaza.
From Die Hard.
Yeah, this is stage 8, which I have never been on because
It's a big one.
it is. I think it's one of their biggest.
Yeah.
It is. I don't want to say it is their biggest.
It's
but,
one of the bigger ones, definitely.
I don't think I've even gone to this section of the lot because the commissary's here.
Right.
I come in off of Avenue of the Stars, go down Galaxy, and then when I shoot, I park in the Galaxy Way parking structure.
Yeah, that's where I've always parked when I've gone to do rando stuff there.
And then when you pop out, you just walk this way because I take meetings in this building.
Right.
This is the building with Star Wars painted on it, and this is the building with The Simpsons painted on it.
Yep, sure is.
This is the two guys are growing a pizza place stage I was telling you about with Ryan Reynolds last week. But stage 18 right here and stage 8 is where they filmed M.A.S.H. So if you are like, what are you talking about on the audio, just click over the video on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook and watch that part.
What's the website they could look that up on if they wanted to look at that overhead? Where'd you find it?
io.dp.com/visual. Just Google
That's
Fox
a lot.
Slot. It took me forever to find that map. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk about the theme song with me?
I do.
Okay.
Suicide is dangerous.
Suicide is painless.
It is painless and dangerous.
So that's the name of the theme song. Now explain to me what you told me before this, because I think it's real cool, actually. They kind of parlayed it into a scene in the show.
Oh, right.
One of the characters wanted to commit suicide, and so all the other characters threw him a going away party.
Yeah.
And one of the other characters sang this song, Suicide is Painless, to him during this going away party.
Exactly. I'm
on the show.
Basically just going to say what you just said in the words in this article. What is the meaning of the M.A.S.H theme song? The dentist of the 4077th. Sorry, there's a little fly in here. The dentist of the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, painless pole, in quotes, Waldonsky, which is played by John Schnuck, declares his desire to commit suicide. I don't remember. I'm going to have to look up his picture. I don't remember who the dentist was. I remember the...
what was his name? Donsky? Because I have the cast up right now.
Waldonsky. Painless pole Waldonsky. John Schnuck declares his desire to commit suicide. In fact, his prank-loving tent mates... Oh, he's like the schmug in the corner. You know how they were always having martinis and then there was the guy...
Okay.
No, but that guy was the surgeon too. All right. They would throw him a Last Supper where Private Sedman sings poor, painless pole a tune. Suicide is painless. That's the origin of the title.
Well, I have a little bit more.
Okay, great.
So when they decided to make that the intro to M.A.S.H, they of course took the lyrics out of it to where it's just instrumental, because you don't want the lyrics to a song called Suicide is Painless.
Exactly.
As the intro to a show about war.
Yeah.
So since it didn't have lyrics, this is so great. Director Robert Altman enlisted the help of his 14-year-old son, Michael, to write the lyrics to the new theme song. Not because he thought his son was super talented, but because he wanted the lyrics to be childish and stupid. I've got a son who's a total idiot, is what he told the song's composer, Johnny Mandel.
Wow.
However, 14-year-old Mike got the last laugh. He ended up earning over $1 million in royalties when a version of the M.A.S.H theme song with his lyrics topped the UK charts.
And then overall...
Yeah, then he got more royalties throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I do remember this guy, but I think it's from the film. Did the film come... We need to find this out. Did the film come first or after the series?
I don't remember.
It's this dude.
I don't remember that guy at all. Not one bit.
Let's see.
That guy. The one in the middle where he's older. That's where I
yeah.
recognize him.
John Shuck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, here he is. John Shuck.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna find out if the movie, which came first, chicken or the egg there.
Yeah, I would assume that the movie maybe came out after the TV show. But I don't know that I've ever seen the movie either.
Interesting.
I always thought, I really wasn't, until you said that, I didn't really know that there was a movie.
It was developed by Larry Gilbert as the first original spin-off series adapted from the 1970 feature film M.A.S.H, which in turn was based on Richard Hooker's 1968 novel M.A.S.H, a novel about 3 army doctors. The movie came first. Let's find out how much it made. M.A.S.H box office.
Weird.
Wow, $81.6 million back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
And more movies
That's
rack it up.
A real good reason to make a TV show out of it.
Well, I mean, they did Saving Private Ryan and they didn't make a TV show out of that.
Yeah, they don't do... Cause
Apocalypse Now?
executives can't think forward enough out stuff. They probably want to make Saving Ryan's Privates 2 or something. Speaking of money...
Yes.
there it is. Yes, of course. Guess how much money people made on the show?
Tell me.
I'm still backing up. Okay, so Gary Berghoff. Berghoff.
Okay.
He played Radar, right? So Radar would be he could sense that things were about to happen, and then he would.
And
come
Radar
in.
was everybody's favorite.
Yeah,
He was this very
100%.
pure, innocent kid
Yeah.
from the middle of nowhere. That you just didn't know why he was there at war.
He had done a number of episodes, and he was over it. He left the show in 1979. So,
Okay.
7 or I don't forget.
Yeah.
72 is when it started.
Yeah.
7 episodes. I mean, he was just 7 seasons. Excuse
Yeah.
me. He just turned it down. He's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to go back. I want to hang out with my family. I missed a lot of stuff in my 30s
Yeah.
doing this show for 7 years.
Definitely.
So they offered him $4 million.
In those days, that was a lot of money.
Yes, and to put it in perspective, Alan Alda, who was one of the writers and also the lead of the show, was paid $5.4 million that year, making him the highest paid TV actor of the year.
Wow.
Right? So remember
Okay.
last week when we talked about Ryan Reynolds being the highest paid TV actor? Bert. Anyway, put it in perspective. If he had taken that $4 million, he would have been the second highest paid, third highest paid, whatever. In that same year, Michael Landon from Little House on the Prairie made $3.8 million.
So he would have made more money than him.
He would have made more money than Michael Landon. He would have made more money than Larry Hagman.
For playing J.R. Ewing?
J.R. Ewing, $2.4 million.
Right on
Dallas.
Radar. But right on
Yeah.
for like saying no, too. Like, talk about early on setting your boundaries.
Yeah, there was only one other person. I thought it was a woman that made
fantastic.
more on a different show. Like, that was on this article when I read it before, and now it's not here. But
The internet has ways of doing that.
it does. It changes the
Deletes
articles.
information.
Yeah. I want to give this woman credit for making more money than him. But anyway.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry. It was Carol O'Connor who pulled $4.8 million
That's
for
a
starring.
man.
Carol O'Connor's a man?
Carol O'Connor was absolutely a man. He was Archie Bunker.
That-
Carol
I feel-
O'Connor is a man.
Carol-
Look it up. Look him up.
I believe you. I just thought I'm breezing through this.
I love that so much, though, that you were so hell-bent on giving that woman her credit. Yeah, it was Carol O'Connor's Archie Bunker.
I really wish I did that on purpose and it was a joke.
We could pretend that you did.
Oh my. Yeah, he was on a
That's Archie
ton
Bunker.
of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
This guy.
But Radar would have made more money than him, and he was a big deal back then.
This guy would have made 800,000 more than him. So
Okay.
this was going to
All
be
right.
the second highest paid guy.
Okay,
And then,
fair.
interesting. Why does the preview of the program change?
Do you remember Radar's teddy bear
I do.
in the show?
I do.
So the teddy bear that Radar traveled with, Hawkeye eventually placed it in a time capsule
Oh, wow.
during the show. It was in an episode that was meant to symbolize all the boys who came over here and then left as men. When the show ended, nobody could figure out what happened to the actual stuffed animal, to Radar's teddy bear. It had gone missing through all of this time.
Yeah.
22 years later, it showed up at an auction.
No.
It sold to a medical student for $11,500. Eventually, he decided to sell it back to Gary Berghoff, who played Radar on the show. It must have held a lot of sentimental value to the actor for him to fork over that kind of cash.
I bet.
He did have a very extra special connection to his character. Yeah. It just disappeared, and then all of a sudden, boom, here it is again, sold at auction.
And what medical student has $11,000 later?
Right?
That's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Special mentions while we're running out of town.
Man, so
here.
fast.
Oh,
so much to talk about.
We can do so many, but
we didn't even touch on Klinger.
we didn't.
Man.
Jamie Farr.
He was only supposed to be in one episode, and people loved him so much that they brought him back for the whole show.
Man, Loretta Swit.
So, Hot Lips.
Yeah, she
What's
was.
up, Hot Lips?
She was my Pammy Anderson before
I
Pammy.
bet she
I
was.
had a whole lifetime of blondes before, and that was one of my first crushes.
I had a crush on Trapper.
Harry Morgan reminded me of my grandfather.
Oh, me too, so much. And I used to watch M.A.S.H with my grandpa, so he loved M.A.S.H very much.
But between Alan Alda and Mike Farrell, I always wanted to be more like Mike, like cool, but I always was a big goof like Alan.
Yeah, I could see that.
I wanted to be more calm and collected, but I was always
You can be calm and collected when you need to be.
Yep.
And we didn't get to talk about glasses. The
William Christopher?
The priest.
Father John?
Is he a priest?
Yeah.
Is that what they are? Yeah. We didn't get to talk about him at all.
He's a father.
Father, right.
Catholic.
Father Mulcahy.
Yeah.
How did I remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we next year on this day are going to have to do a whole nother episode because there's a lot that we didn't get to talk about.
I
about
agree.
M.A.S.H.
I think we just do September 17th is M.A.S.H.
It's M.A.S.H. Day every year.
Every year.
And we just tell more cool stuff about M.A.S.H.
We learned about that lady that knows how to do the paperwork. Let's make September 17th National M.A.S.H. Day. Like, let's do the paperwork and everything.
We could do that.
It's like one piece of paper. We should totally do that. And
file for it to be National M.A.S.H. Day.
Yeah. Sponsored by Misty and Ike.
We did that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah.
Guess what we're not going to do? That. We'll probably never do that.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right. Well, I have to go. You can stay, but I have to go because tomorrow's a big day, and I got to prepare.
Okay.
And
well, I'm looking up how to make it National M.A.S.H. Day.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow for number 300.
Number 300, Food Fridays. Oh, we still haven't decided what it's going to be. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is the last of the 200s. And I wish I could have a quote from the last episode of M.A.S.H, but we'll just leave it on
This is Sparta!
Close enough.